Good afternoon, everyone. Hope we're all doing well today. Today I'm headed up to the small, quaint mountain town of Vail, Colorado, to meet up with my long-lost friend Baxter, whom you all may know from my prior videos. I cannot stop listening to old Skrillex bangers. They just have this girth that you can't really find anywhere else. Put some eczema cream on my face earlier because sometimes I get eczema and it like bleached my face. Well, despite my physical suffering, which is ceaseless, I'm 23 minutes from Vail. You know, I'm often asked how I got all this fucking swag. This is what I listen to. Well, folks, we have arrived in the thriving mountain metropolis of Vail, Colorado. It was a good drive. It took about 1 hour 45. Not bad at all. Now I will go say hi to my friend Baxter, whom I haven't seen in a month and a half. Say what up.
Hello.
You know what this reminds me of? Our like first ever video that we did. It's a beautiful day out here. Let her rip. Yo, I'm in. Turn off my video.
Hey, turn on the video. That's the whole point.
Baxter Mercy, run 3. Dropping in. I thought you were dead right there. I was gonna
Yeah, we should.
Well, folks, it's the last run of the day. Knees are feeling weak. My arms are heavy. Mom's spaghetti. Let's get it. My specialty, moguls. I'll cut it. I knew that would get a laugh. Maybe I'll just blur it. I don't give a fuck.
You should just blur it.
First things first. Welcome to Wine by the Pool.
It's been a while. Boy, it's been over a year since we were both together in a video.
Feels good to be back. Just got pool water in my fucking sinuses. Well, guys, we just got off the mountain. You know, we're out here in beautiful Vail, Colorado. Very gorgeous day. Thought we would just come down to the pool and speak some gospel to the people.
Talk about our woes, our hoes.
Our hoes, our woes, and our flow.
Cheers.
Do I have wine on my face?
Yeah, it looks like you just bit into a raw animal.
When you eating your girl out on her period? Well, I feel like everyone's trying to quit, Jewel.
Yeah, it's just everyone's like trying to quit, which is awesome because everyone probably should quit. But
Because it literally is killing you.
at the same time, it's like, okay, at what point do you just like acknowledge that it's not gonna happen?
You know, at a certain point, it's like you should just commit.
You should just go one way or the other.
Because it'll be so much more pleasurable if
It's
you
like, yeah, I guess so.
Oh, I just puked in the fucking pool.
I don't know how you chug that.
I don't know either.
That's pretty gross.
I'm crazy.
Jack grew up skiing. He's quite a skier.
I can rip. No cap.
Shut the fuck up.
I
You're
basically.
supposed to be like, yeah, I'm like deep.
YouTube is the place where I can just like tell my truth. Like I'm tight.
Speak your truth,
Like
Jack.
I'm tight. You don't think I'm cool?
I never said that.
No, I know you think I'm cool. Because I know I'm cool. Maybe it'd be good to pose a more
both-
formal question. Such as, how do you feel about me coming back to YouTube after so long? Because you saw the whole like
I saw the whole
in
arc.
between. We'll tell your story. So Baxter transferred.
I go to the city college in Santa Barbara, hopefully transferring to UCSB. So anyway, I moved away from Boulder. I'm no longer there. But Jack and I actually see each other a fair bit.
We're soul bonded.
We make an effort to see each other. He came out to Santa Barbara and hung out for like a week, which was super fun.
Yeah, that's when I was like, did I make the wrong decision about quitting? You were like, well, do what you feel.
Well, I've always like thought Jack was just really good with the YouTube thing, but I could also tell that he wasn't really doing it for reasons that were intrinsically motivated.
Well, there were intrinsic motivations, but there were also
But they were lost.
They got lost.
They got lost.
They
I
definitely
would
got
say.
lost.
You know, when your friend is like struggling with enjoying what they're doing, you're obviously going to tell them like, hey, you know, you could push through, but if it's really that bad, quit.
I think it honestly worked out like the way it was supposed to.
Right.
Because now, like after taking that break, like
It's
perspective is a lot different.
Yeah, it's
And
like a relationship.
Yeah.
Like your relationship with YouTube. I guess everything we do.
I have a relationship with this glass of wine.
Right. There are parallels between all relationships. You gotta stop doing that, bro. That's so gnarly. There are parallels between all relationships that we have.
Well, any like career is more or less a relationship in a sense, you know.
Yeah.
Well, what really happened to me was I like lost track of why, you know, and that was really the downfall. Because as soon as you like lose your why, then you're fucked.
Also, you should address the part that I thought, from what you had told me in the past, was like the most profound was like the fame, I guess.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
Like,
Because I'm not really like an extremely extroverted person on the surface. Fame is just a really weird thing. Nothing really prepares you for it. And I'm not even that fucking famous, which is crazy to me because I'm like, how the fuck do some of these people like, I get why some people like literally blow up and do drugs and like want to just drown themselves because it's literally overwhelming tide
dude,
of
we
like.
watched the Billie Eilish documentary last night.
She handles it insanely well.
Insanely
Billie
well.
Eilish handles fame like, and it really comes down to like letting go of yourself. You know, it comes down to like being selfless, because as soon as you like start to disregard your fans or start to like not appreciate the impact that you've created, you just lose sight of everything.
Right.
All your
'Cause,
values and whatnot.
You do have to understand it's not like from a place of they're trying to annoy you. I mean, obviously the fans seem to lack empathy in the sense that it's probably
There's
so
definitely a
overwhelming.
lack of respect.
But
Yeah.
like, she seems to have this amazing way of just like seeing it as like she knows that they just love her and that's it. So she's gonna like return that essentially.
Yeah, and that's like kind of what I learned. Like, it's not a bad thing, you know? Kind of just learned to like let go of any like trepidation towards seeing my like supporters in person or something like that, you know? Because it's weird. Like, it's kind of weird sometimes. I mean, Billy talked about it in the documentary. She was like, yeah, sometimes like people get excited when they see someone who they're like very connected to.
Right.
And weird shit happens, like it's awkward. That like was comforting because I was like, oh, I've definitely felt that.
And people would just be like, yo, and you're just like,
It's
what?
just jarring, and then all of a sudden, like, you look around and you think everyone knows you because it feels
That's
like that,
terrifying.
because it starts happening like often, and you're like, oh, like now everywhere I go, I'm no longer anonymous. Imagine like you're going somewhere, and it's like your high school class is
It's like
every person.
1984.
Yeah.
It's like you're just being watched.
Yeah, it's
And
like
you have to like uphold an expectation.
an image, and you become almost like a fish in a fish tank.
That's just what you experience like occasionally, but imagine for like super famous people.
I know, it's like they either go down a dark rabbit hole of drugs and like just try to numb it and block it out.
Wait,
Hey, Baxter's sister's here, and her boyfriend Xander.
We're making a
That was 17 minutes.
Okay, well, last time we were in
That's
here,
pretty
he
good. But we
dunked
didn't
me and now
reach
my
any.
toes
I
are
feel like we
like-
had so much more to say.
I didn't reach any conclusion. We could continue
Okay,
like
fine.
later.
But we'll put it on hold for a hot sec.
Yeah.
The thing is, if I look bad, I don't want to be in it.
It's bad.
See ya. Bye.
Well, after a brief intermission, we have returned.
Brief.
Well, folks, we're a bottle deep. Wait, so where were we? I think that's how it
In a
works.
perfect world.
I think that's how it,
Totally.
like no billionaire is like, oh, I'm gonna go make $1 billion.
Right.
They're like, oh, I'm gonna give as much value as I possibly fucking can to people.
To this thing that
That's why like when
Right.
people hate on Jeff Bezos, I'm like, bro, do you still use Amazon? That 2-day shipping's pretty nice, right?
like people are like, oh fuck capitalism. Meanwhile, they're sipping a fucking latte and they just got
Starbucks
They just
latte.
got Amazon Prime shipping. Fucking,
Yeah.
you can't hate it and use it.
Yeah.
That's
There are pros and cons, but recently I've been like trying to be very conscious about what I buy,
yes, same.
which is like, I think that's the fine line you have to.
Right, because I think
Run through.
capitalism is important, but thoughtless consumerism is where
That's where
they kind of like.
it gets evil. Yeah,
Because
that's
what
where-
happens is people just consume, and then the people who want to make money just prey on that.
Profit. I want profit. We need to please the shareholders. We need profit. Yeah, I don't care what it costs. I don't care if it costs me 13,000 Chinese. I want
Children.
profit.
13,000 children.
13,000 underpaid
Underpaid
child workers.
sweatshop.
They will have their $5 t-shirt.
It's an unfortunate reality of our existence is that it's run by money.
Everything is run by money.
And you can deny that to an extent.
You either have to become a monk,
Right.
which is reduce your expenses to zero,
And just
or
be silent for your entire life.
live in a fucking cave, or you need to compromise with the systems that we have in place.
I just thought of that irony of what we're talking about. We're literally sipping wine in a pool talking about.
You're always like, you're always like the one who like points out that we're just complete hypocrites.
Because it's so funny
Yeah.
how much we're just like, oh yeah, like
Be a conscious consumer. Everyone's human, bro.
yeah.
Everyone fucks up, and that's the thing. Like, we're pretty dumb. But also, I feel like we're like self-conscious enough to like know that we're dumb,
I think we're like
which
pretty,
makes us smart.
Well, I think Smart is a tough one. Introspective. That's the one. I think we're both introspective enough to like be able to call ourselves out. Not all the time. I'm just a
That's
big
good.
overthinker. That's what you were telling me with meditating. It helps with that.
Baxter and I did a little
But
meditation.
I kind of
this morning.
like, overthinking is like shitty because it can make you spiral. It helps with being like self-aware and introspect. It's like that little.
And that's the thing, like if you can just recognize that, even just that,
Right.
then that's all.
Not to
That's
say
it.
I recognize it all the
All the
time.
time. But if you can get it, like,
Occasionally.
that's like that higher.
We do our best.
That's the higher consciousness that we all aspire to.
Right.
Drop it. Fucking bars of wisdom out
Just
here.
drop it.
Well, we left off. We
Sorry,
stopped
my fam.
because Baxter's sister came down to the pool.
Right.
Which is funny because I was like, well, we're making a video. We kind of have to focus on that. And I'd rather like focus on having a conversation with someone than like making a video while they're like in the pool. So we stopped. But it's like weird because being in front of a camera is such a vulnerable thing.
My analogy was like having sex with other people in the room. It's already a very vulnerable thing, and it's okay doing it with the person you're comfortable with.
Yes.
Like Jack and I we're very open with each other in terms of like what we talk about. So we talk about everything. We're very comfortable like talking. And so like
And talking like in front of a camera.
yeah, because we've done it so many times. But then when someone else is kind of like watching, it's very intimidating. It
Which-
goes back to what you were saying about like feeling like you're being watched all the time. Because I feel like the whole appeal of your YouTube channel is that you're authentic.
Or at least I try to be.
Right. That's
As
the
much
goal.
as you can when you're in front of a camera.
And that was my goal when I was trying to make videos, is like to be as authentic as possible, because I mean that's my fucking gripe with social media and YouTube, is that it's
fake.
so fucking manicured. Honestly, talking to the camera and someone that you're comfortable with is super easy because the camera doesn't have body language, so you can just say whatever and you don't like expect a reaction.
Yeah.
Right? So when
That's so
talking
true.
to you, like I kind of like can get a base off, like we're just having a conversation, like I know I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
But if I sense like some body language from someone else, or if I was talking in front of a crowd and I said something and I like got a reaction that wasn't what I was expecting, it would throw me off.
It would throw you off. Yeah.
Because you can't
But that's-
have a candid conversation like we are. I bet you could get to a point if you were good with a stage presence.
Probably, yeah.
Like, do you think if there was 1,000 people out there right now, we could have
Just
a
have
conversation
this regular
like
old
this?
conversation? No. We'd have to like plan it and have like talking points. Well,
Yes.
maybe though.
Storytelling, public speaking, probably some of the two, and like being able to convey an idea are probably the three most important skills you can have.
Yeah, and they're the hardest to learn because
Or
it's,
do right.
it's such a vulnerable thing that you can just get torn down.
Right, because like you
You
can
know.
either stay strong with your story and like what you're trying to convey, or you can let yourself be like kind of knocked around by how the other people are reacting.
Yeah. And what it really comes down to is like other people's perception of you. I feel like I've kind of gotten over that. You know, like I
definitely not over
I just don't really give a, I just don't really care anymore. Like
Why?
I don't really care what people think.
Like
what,
truly don't care.
pretty much, and I attribute it to meditation because it allows for such clarity of mind that you're like, oh, that doesn't matter.
Right.
Everyone else is in their own little world, you know? I'd say the only person who can judge me now is like
Yourself.
our creator or God,
Oh God.
if you wish.
We're gonna go into this again.
Not the God. We talked for like, what, an hour and a half last night
You're
about
like, all right,
God.
let's go to bed. And then Jack was like, yeah, it's just great that like God has put us here together or some shit. And I
I'm
was
not
like,
religious either.
No, not in like a religious way, more of like he said the universe, that's what he said.
And even right now, like this video, if you're watching this right now, this shit took 13.8 billion years to
The
happen.
reason we talked about it for an hour and a half is because I was like, all right.
Like she was like, why does God matter? Or something
Wow,
like that.
you say it so fucking. I just wanted to challenge the concept of like
The notion of God.
the notion of believing in like why necessarily does it matter to believe in like a higher being?
Yeah. No, I think your question was 100% valid.
It wasn't that I swayed either way necessarily. It was more for the sake of argument and to get more perspective.
Yeah, no, it was a great talk last night.
It was.
Well, I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty good spot to wrap it up.
I guess if people
yeah.
have questions, they'll comment about them. I guess we should say like, well, I love to see that Jack's back in action. That makes me happy, and I also really appreciate that Jack still likes having me along for the ride. Always a good time.
No, it came easy. You could be an actor for sure. Also having like a film idea like that I want to shoot.
Really?
I want you to be like a young like budding engineer like in Cali, and you like go on some journey like
And that's
to
basically
like
what
chase
I'm
this
doing.
girl.
That's
or
literally.
something. I know.
So you just want to do
A
a documentary about my life?
Yeah.
All right.
Baxter. Mercy.
I co-direct.
Sure.
Cheers to a reincarnation of Jack Sweeney's channel. Well, you know, what a
Cheers
in moderation.
Cheers to shirtless Baxter,
And shirtless Jack.
who ever entertains us with his beautiful, beautiful soul and beautiful aura.
Now I have to say something about you. I guess you could say an ethereal being.
But for real, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Got great things planned for the future.
Jack does. I have no idea.
Baxter probably won't be coming back anytime soon, but
Down the road.
it's always a pleasure to have him. Have a great day and whatnot.